Again, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, grade 7. This is a continuation of what we had discussed. We will be jumping to another topic, which is the levels of biological organization. Now, the levels of biological organization is one of your coverage for the second master tests. Aside from that, under the levels of biological organization, there are a lot of topics or subtopics to be discussed. That is why I'm encouraging everyone, grade 7, to participate, right? Your exam is quite long also, okay? I'll be sharing my screen. Just let me know if you already seen my shared screen. Can you see now my shared screen? Grade 7?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start the discussion. Again, the levels of biological organization. So what's with the levels of biological organization? Okay, let's tackle first the characteristics of life. Or how can you consider a thing or a thing an organism? What the things to be considered to be called as an organism, right? Plants and animals, like all living things, have the characteristics of life. All living things are organized, grow and develop just like you, reproduce, respond, and maintain certain internal conditions, just like inside your body, and use energy, just like us, we're using energy. Non living things might have some of these characteristics, but they do not have all of them. Okay? Books might be organized, correct? But we're talking about organized into chapters, and light uses energy. However, only those things that have all the characteristics of life are living or considered as living things. Things that have all the characteristics of life are called organism. Okay. Now we'll be focusing now on these organisms, how these organisms are actually grouped, how these organisms are actually organized. Okay. Question so far? Grade 7? Again, I want you to ask questions. I want you to participate. Okay. Major classification of organisms. Okay. Since organisms are well organized, therefore there are some classifications of organism. These are the major, right? Prokaryotes or prokaryotic. Okay. These are organisms that has a primitive type of cell. Is it primitive? Primitive means old. Okay. Primitive means old. Prokaryotes came from both Greek and Latin word pro. Pro means before or old. Pro means before. And karyon means nucleus. Therefore, these organisms don't have nuclear membrane which makes the nucleus. Okay? So, if you're going to look at prokaryotes, you cannot see a nuclear membrane surrounding the nucleus. Instead, you'll be seeing a nucleoid. Okay? Nucleoid, please take down notes. Please take down important details and terminologies. This is nucleoid is an irregular shaped or regularly shaped region within a prokaryotic cell that contains all or most of the genetic material. Examples, you can see this one in bacteria, amoeba, and all those microorganisms because they have primitive types of cell. Okay? They don't contain. By the way, are you familiar with nucleus? Are you familiar with nucleus?
No.
Okay, that's good. Again, when you're talking about prokaryotes, if you're going to look at them under the microscope, you cannot actually see a nuclear membrane or you cannot actually see a nucleus in them. Instead, you can see a nucleoid, which is scattered. Their genetic materials are scattered in irregularly shaped. Mean to say there's no definite shape. Just like when you're looking at a bacteria or a group of bacteria or a single bacterium, amoeba, and other microorganisms. Okay? How about eukaryotes? Eukaryotes, these are organisms that has a true nucleus. When you say true nucleus, eukaryotes came from the both Greek and Latin word because Greek and Latin uses eu. Eu means true. Okay? True and karyon means nucleus. They have true nucleus. These organisms have nuclear membrane or envelope covering the nucleus. Yes, if you're going to look at it under the microscope, you can see that at the center of each cell has a nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane bound organelle. Okay, you can see it under the microscope. It is circular usually. Okay, so it has a definite shape. Since this is true nucleus, animals and plant cells has this one. We animals has also a true nucleus because we are eukaryotes. Okay. Question so far? Question so far? Grade 7.
And
Make sure that you understand the lesson or else you might find it hard during the exam. Your exam is quite long. Okay. Unicellular organisms. These are organisms which has only one cell, sometimes called a single-celled organism. Okay, when you say unicellular, uni means one. Okay, unicellular organisms. Some of these organisms contains chlorophyll because they can actually perform photosynthesis. Some of them also contains some pigmentation like carotenoids or carotene. Some of them also is transparent that you can only see them under the microscope stained. Okay, remember that these organisms can live by itself because it's unicellular. It just need a single cell. No, if you're going to look at them, you can see a single cell, but it is actually alive. It is a living organism. Okay. One good example, bacteria, bacterium. Now, if you're going to look at bacterium, it's complete already. Amoeba, it's complete already. So it's an organism with a single cell. That's unicellular. How about multicellular organisms? Okay, these are organisms which made of many eukaryotic cell. Okay, again, multicellular organism is made up of many eukaryotic cell, meaning cells that has a two nucleus. Each type of cell in a multicellular organism has a specific job that is important to the survival of an organism. Just like you, yeah? You have your cardiac muscle, you have your skin tissues, okay? You have your blood cells. These are the components of a multicellular organism, meaning to say we are composed of different cells, okay? We are composed of different eukaryotic cells. Question so far? Please raise your questions. Again, please raise your questions. Please let me know if I'm too fast.
it's fine.
Okay, let's move now to cells. Okay, cell is a basic unit of life. Why? Because in that single cell comes from a different cells. Like um, you came from a single cell. Okay, the zygote, which is the union of sperms and egg. Okay, when the egg fertilized, it become now a single cell, and after which it will divide by itself in the process called cell division. Now, cell is the basic unit of life. Why? Because all of the cell came from a single cell. Again, all the cells came from a single cell. All cells in the multicellular organism came from a fertilized egg. Correct. Just like you. Okay? Cell division starts quickly after fertilization. Just like just like when you are when you having an egg being fertilized, and after which for how many hours it will cell divide. It will divide by itself. The first cell made can become any type of cell such as muscle cell, nerve cell, or blood cells. The process by which cells becomes different types of cells is called cell differentiation. Please take note. Again, the process by which cells become different types of cells is called cell differentiation. Okay. Again, one good example is the zygote. Okay, the zygote now has a single cell, fertilized egg actually, but uh, if you're going to look at it, it is not just a cell. It will undergo cell differentiation in order to create different types of cells, like your skin, like your um, like your cardiac muscles. What else? Like your blood cells, like your nerve cells. Okay. Again, it came from a single cell. Question so far? Question so far? Please ask question. Okay. Stem cells. Okay, stem cells are really important. Why? These are unspecialized cells that are able to develop into many different types of cells. Okay, again, stem cells are unspecialized cells that are able to develop into different types of cells. There are many stem cells in the embryos, but fewer in adult organism. Why? Because embryos still grow, and embryos need to develop a lot of different types of cells or needs to perform cell differentiation. Question again so far, grade 7. Adult stem cells are important for the cell repair and replacement. This is the time that our body actually heals by itself. Why does our body heals by itself? Because we have stem cells. But it is fewer in adult. That is why the more older you are, the more time for you to heal. Again, the more older you are, the more time for you to heal. But if you are younger enough, then the healing is faster because you still have a lot of stem cells in your body if you are still young. Okay? Again, the more older you are or the older you are, the more time for your body to heal. Okay? Plants also have unspecialized cells similar to animal stem cells. These are grouped in areas of plants called meristem. Okay? Again, meristems. When you say meristems, these are unspecialized cells similar to animal cells. It is also for what? Cell differentiation. Okay? Meristems are different areas of plant, including tips of roots, the root apical meristem, and stems. Okay? Cell division in meristems produces different types of plant cells with specialized structures and functions. Again, meristems perform cell differentiation. Are you still with me, grade 7? Grade 7.
Yes.
Okay. Did you understand the lesson? Question so far?
None. None for me.
Okay, just let me know if you're confused with the topic, if you are confused also with the terminology. Okay? Meristem produce different types of cell plants with special structures and functions. Okay, such as transporting material, making food, storing food, okay, or protecting the plant. Okay, these are actually came from meristems. Plants also heal by itself because of meristematic tissues or meristems. These cells might become parts of the stems, leaves, flowers, or roots. Yes, definitely. Right? This is the process. This is now why plants heal by itself or why plants produce by itself or produce cells by itself. Yes, actually the PowerPoint is in your LMS. Okay, I uploaded this in the LMS so that you can actually download it and study. let's move forward. Please grab the opportunity to ask questions, because if you have now your PowerPoint presentation is just a um, piece of document. Okay, it will not talk unless you read it. Then it will give you information. But I'm here to unlock those difficulties. Okay, if you have questions with the term, just let me know. Okay, I make this more simple as possible. If you're going to look at this, this is the simplest form of levels of biological organization, because this topic is too long. Again, from the cells, these are cells. Let's move now to tissues. Okay, again, cell, tissues. Tissues are group of similar types of cell. Okay, if we group now similar cells or similar type of cells that work together to carry out specific tasks, it will actually create a tissue, just like a muscle cell. If you're going to look at the muscle cell, it's just a single cell. But if you group muscle cells, it will create a muscle tissue or muscle fiber. Okay. What else? Skin cells. Now, if you're going to group the skin cells, it will form a skin tissue. Okay. Humans, like most other animals, have four main types of tissues. Please take note of the four main types of tissues: the muscle, connective, nervous, and epithelial. Okay. Again, the muscle, connective, nervous, and epithelial. When you say muscle, this causes movement. This is the reason why we move, because of the coordination of your muscle tissue and your bones. Okay. Next, we have connective tissues. Okay, provides structure and support and often connects other types of tissue together. Okay, this tissue also, or this your tissues is also connected to another tissue, which is the connective tissues. This provides a structure and support and often connects other types of tissues together. It binds the tissues together. Okay, it supports the tissues. Next, we have nervous tissue. If you're going to group now your nerve cells, it will create a nerve tissue, which carries messages to and from the brain. Okay, again, you can find these nervous tissues in your what? Where can you possibly find nervous tissues? You can find your nervous tissue in your, where? Nervous system, your spines. You can see a lot of nervous tissues there. Okay? Medulla oblongata, part of the brain, lower brain stems. There are a lot of nervous tissues there. Okay? Let's move forward. Question so far? Next is the epithelial tissue. It forms a protective outer layer of the skin and the lining of major organs and internal body cavities. Okay? This epithelial tissues also covers the internal, okay? Again, forms a protective outer layer of the skin and the lining of the major organs. It will actually protect the layer of a particular tissue, especially the organs internally. Like for example, your stomach is actually covered by an epithelial tissue. Okay? This is to prevent self-digestion. Remember that your stomach contains pure hydrochloric acid. Again, your stomach contains pure hydrochloric acid. To prevent self-digestion in your stomach, meaning to say that the stomach will be digested by itself, epithelial tissue is actually there to protect. Okay? Again, your epithelial tissue forms a protective outer layer Although it's internal, but it forms an outer layer to protect. Okay, the purpose of this is to protect the tissue, the other tissues. Let's move now to plant tissues because plant also has tissues, right? Plants also have different types of tissues. These are the three main types of plant tissues. We have dermal, vascular, and ground tissue. Dermal, from the word dermal, it's the skin, dermal tissue. Provides protection and help produce water because remember that your plant needs water. That is why it needs a dermal tissue, no, to protect the plant from dehydration, to reduce the what? They reduce the water evaporation. Again, your plants needs water. That is why dermal tissue is there to reduce water. Okay? One good example is the waxy protection of some fruits and vegetables. Have you tried? Have you seen it? Your apples is actually covered by wax. Okay? It's a natural wax that protects the apple from dehydration. Okay. Next, we have any questions so far? Questions in your mind? Grade 7? Grade 7? Questions in your mind? Okay, let's
I don't
continue.
have it.
Nicole, any question?
And
Okay, let's move now to vascular tissue. You see, vascular, vaso, means this is a vascular. This is a what? A path, a tube. Okay, that's vaso, tube that transports water and nutrients from one part of the plant to another. Okay, again, this is another type of tissue which transports water and nutrients. Remember that your plant, if it is a vascular plant, it contains vascular tissues. Again, to transport water and other nutrients in and out. Okay, and some of these plants is too big, too huge, and too high that it actually, go against gravity. You know what I mean? Are you familiar with this? The water is in the ground, and your tree is too big, too long, too high. So how does the water from the ground go up to the tip of your tree? This is because of your vascular tissues. Okay? This is because plants contains vascular tissues that carries or transports water and nutrients. Let's move now to ground tissue. Again, your ground tissue, it provides storage and support and is where photosynthesis takes place. Where does your photosynthesis takes place? Again, grade 7, are you still with me? Where does your photosynthesis takes place? In plants? Grade 7? Where does photosynthesis takes place? Where? Grade 7? I assume that you know already. Okay? Again, those are not here. It's up to you. Because I want you to learn more. Yes, in plants, where does photosynthesis takes place? Where do you think? Again, photosynthesis takes place in areas which colored green because chlorophyll is present there. Usually, it is in the leaves of the plants. Okay? Usually it is in the leaves of the plants. So ground tissues are there. Remember that this is for storage and for support. Let's move now to organs. Okay? When we organize cells, it will create, we're now creating tissue. If we organize tissue, we are now creating organs. Okay? Organs are a group of different tissues working together to perform a particular job. Okay? Organs. Like for example, your heart is composed of cardiac tissues. Okay? Different tissues joining together to create an organ. Okay? That's one of your major organ. What else? Your what else? Your skin is considered the biggest organ. Why? It covers you. Okay? That's for protection. What else? Your brain also is an organ. What else? Your lungs, your kidneys. What else? Those are your major organs. Now, plants also has organs. One good example is a leaf. A leaf is an organ because there are a lot of dermal tissues that covers the outer surface of the leaf. Okay? The leaf is a vital organ because it contains ground tissue that produces food for the rest of the plant, right? Because photosynthesis happened in the leaf or in the leaves of the plant. Ground tissue is where photosynthesis takes place, the one that I already tackled a while ago. The vascular tissue moves both produced by photosynthesis and water throughout the leaf and the rest of the plant. Again, there are some vascular tissues there. So again, your leaf or your leaves is one of the major organ of your plant. Question so far? Question so far?
And
How about, yes, Nicole?
then sure.
Yes, Nicole?
No questions.
How about, come again,
I don't
Nicole?
have any questions, sir.
Ah, okay. I thought you have questions. Anyway, let's move forward with organ systems. Okay. Now, if we group the organs, it will actually form or create an organ system. Organ systems are groups of different organs that work together to complete a series of tasks. Human organ systems can be made of many different organs working together. One good example is your digestive system. Okay. Digestive system, it is made of many organs, including the stomach, small intestine, liver, large intestine. These organs and other organs all work together to break down food to cells and take into the body, just like your digestive system. What else? What are other organ systems? Like for example, your circulatory system. Okay, your circulatory system has what? Heart, lungs, because again, the purpose why lungs is included there because lungs now converted or exchange of gases happens in the lungs. What else? The um what else? Your blood is included in the circulatory system. What else? How about nervous system? What's with the nervous system? Nervous system, we have the brain stem, the what else? Nerves. Those are part of the nervous system. So again, when you group organ, it will create an organ system. Okay. Question so far? Questions
None,
so
sir.
far? Okay. Plants also have two major organ systems. Okay. We have shoot system and the root system. Shoot system meaning to say that it includes leaves, stems, and flowers. Food and water are transported throughout the plant by the shoot system. Okay. Again, shoot system includes leaves, stems, and flowers. Again, food and water are transported throughout the plant by shoot system. Shoot meaning to say, um, from the stems going up, those are that is actually the shoot system. Let's move now to the root system. What's with the root system? It anchors the plant and takes in water and nutrients. It anchors, meaning to say, it actually protect the plant by what? Anchorage or holding it in place. And it takes in water. Okay, because again, plants needs water. Okay. Again, root system anchors the plant and takes in water and nutrients. Question so far? Now, if you're going to group organ system, it will create an organism. Okay. Multicellular organisms usually have many organ systems. We, as a human being, is composed of different organ systems. So what are the systems of your body? Can you give me one? What are the systems of your body? Grade 7, can you give me one? Systems of your body? We have what?
Nervous system.
Nervous system. What else? Correct. Circulatory, reproductive system. What else?
Skeleton system. Skeletal system.
Skeletal system. Yes, correct, Labin. That's good. What else? Okay. We are composed of different organ system. That is why we are called organism. Okay, which is composed of different organ systems. These systems work together to carry out all the jobs needed for the survival of an organism. Okay, this will now become the component of what we called as biosphere. Okay, biosphere. This is the layer of the planet Earth where life exists. This is only the layer of the planet Earth that life exists because in this layer it has a lot of things that life surpasses or life survives. It actually gives um, support to life. Okay. Question so far? Question so far?
None.
Okay. Again, we have less than minute. This is the hierarchy of life. Again, cell from the basic unit. If we will group the cell, it will form a tissue. Correct? Now, if we will group the tissue, it will form organ.